Hey there, ever wondered about the family drama of the gods? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into the wild life of Cronus, the guy who thought eating his kids was a solid parenting strategy. I'm your host, and this is the story of Zeus' father, Cronus, in 6 minutes. So, picture this. The universe is just getting started, and there's this dude named Cronus. He's not your average Joe. He's a titan, which is like a god, but with extra muscles and attitude. Growing up, Cronus had it pretty sweet. His mom was Gaia, literally Mother Earth, and his dad was Uranus, the sky himself. Talk about a power couple, right? But here's where things get messy. Uranus, being the stellar dad he was, decided some of his kids were too ugly to look at. So what did he do? Toss them into Tartarus, which is basically the ancient Greek version of timeout, but way worse. Gaia wasn't too thrilled about this, as you can imagine. She's like, "Hey Cronus, be a dear and take care of your dad for me, will you?" Now, Cronus, being the obedient son he was, thought, "Sure, Mom, I'll just grab my trusty sickle and..." Oh wait, we haven't invented proper weapons yet. So he improvised with some gardening tools. Yep, you heard that right. He neutered his own father with a gardening implement. Talk about a family feud. After this little incident, Uranus decided to retire from the whole being important gig, and Cronus got to sit on the big boy throne. But power went straight to his head faster than ambrosia at a god party. Now, you'd think after all that drama, Cronus would be all about family therapy and group hugs. Nope. Instead, he decided to marry his sister Rhea, because apparently, when you're a titan, keeping it in the family is less of a warning and more of a lifestyle choice. But here's where Cronus really outdid himself in the bad decision department. He got this brilliant idea. What if my kids try to overthrow me like I did to dear old dad? Now, a normal person might consider, I don't know, being a good parent. But Cronus thought, nah, I'll just eat them as soon as they're born. Problem solved, right? So every time Rhea popped out a baby, Cronus would be there with a bib and a knife and fork, ready for his next meal. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon all went down the hatch. Rhea, understandably, was not thrilled with this arrangement. When it came time for baby Zeus to be born, Rhea had had enough. She pulled the old switcheroo, wrapping up a rock in baby clothes and handing it to Cronus. And Cronus, being the genius he was, swallowed it without a second thought. Meanwhile, baby Zeus was whisked away to Crete to be raised by nymphs and a goat. Because nothing says future king of the gods like being raised by a goat, right? Fast forward a bit, and Zeus is all grown up and ready for some payback. He tricks Cronus into drinking a magic potion that makes him vomit up all his siblings. And let me tell you, that must have been one heck of a family reunion. Hey sis, remember when we were in Dad's stomach together? Good times. Now, you'd think after all this, Cronus would call it quits and retire to a nice Titan retirement home. But no, he decides to wage war against his kids. This kicks off the Titanomachi, which is just a fancy way of saying the biggest family brawl in cosmic history. For 10 years, it was chaos. Titans throwing mountains, gods hurling lightning bolts, and probably a lot of "you're grounded for eternity" being shouted across the battlefield. In the end, Zeus and his siblings came out on top. They had some nifty weapons called the Cyclopes, which is like having a secret weapon that's also your weird cousin. So what happened to old Cronus? Well, versions vary. Some say Zeus chopped him up and tossed him into Tartarus, which is kind of poetic justice if you think about it. Others say he was exiled to Italy, where he became a kindly king and taught humans about agriculture. Because nothing says reformed child eater like showing people how to grow crops, right? And that, my friends, is the story of Cronus in a nutshell. From overthrowing his dad to being overthrown by his kids, it is a classic tale of what not to do as a parent in the world of Greek mythology. Next time you think your family is dysfunctional, just remember, at least your dad didn't eat you and your siblings for breakfast. So there you have it, the life and times of Cronus, Titan extraordinaire and worst father of the year for several millennia running. From his rocky start as a daddy's boy with a grudge, to his even rockier end as a dethroned baby eater, Cronus really lived a life that puts the myth in mythology. Remember, folks, the moral of the story is clear. Don't eat your kids. Don't marry your sister, and maybe think twice before overthrowing your parents. It might seem like a good idea at the time, but it always comes back to bite you in the end, or in Cronus's case, make you bite a rock. This has been the story of Zeus' father Cronus in 6 minutes. I'm your host, signing off. Until next time, keep it mythical, but maybe not Cronus level mythical. Peace out. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to keep Cronus from visiting you in your dreams.